All right, I think I'm alive. I think I'm live. I don't know how well this is going to work doing it on the second channel, but we are live. Welcome back to yet another massive movie collection update. Got a lot of stuff to get through. It's been a little while since I've done this. Normally I do these on Twitch, but I thought it might be fun to do it on the YouTubes. So we're here on the YouTube, gonna do a very large and in charge movie collection update. So hope you guys enjoy it. I do want to give a little bit of a channelish update before we get into this. I am working on videos. They just take me a long time to do. Thank you for all the support on the other videos. Hopefully you'll look forward to some of the other ones when they come. But I think we can get capture moments. Sorry, it's been a long time since I ever streamed on YouTube, so I'm like figuring stuff out and stuff's popping up and whatnot. I'm pretty sure we're live, right? Let me look real quick. Normally I do these on Twitch though, so I thought it'd be fun to do something like this. Why is the thumbnail my banner? I just realized that my thumbnail is the banner for whatever reason. Anyway, so going to be doing this update. A lot of this stuff is I haven't got around to watching yet, and a lot of it I don't know. I'm not like confident in my choices here recently. So I started like picking up some random stuff because a vendor's market opened up close to me. And what a vendor's market is basically like an indoor flea market. And there's somebody there who sells movies for $2.99 a piece or 10 for 10. So 10 movies for $10. And so whenever I've been there and I found a couple things that seem worth getting, I've just forced the issue to get 10 for 10, because once you have like 2 or 3 things, you might as well try to go for 10 movies. And there's also quite a bit of Dollar Tree stuff in here. So yeah, I don't know how great this stuff's going to be. This I feel like update is more or less quantity over quality. I feel like there's just a lot of stuff I grabbed because it was really cheap, and honestly probably a lot of stuff I'm not even going to bother watching. So let's get started into this. One of those ones is 444, The Last Day on Earth. I need to replace the case because the bottom's kind of busted out. This is an Abel Ferrara film with Abel, or however you say his name, with William Dafoe. It is about William Dafoe and his girlfriend when the world is going to end pretty much tomorrow at 4:44 a.m. And so it's kind of about how they spend their last time on Earth, and it is super boring. Abel Ferrara has made some really cool films like Bad Lieutenant. I really liked The Driller Killer. Yeah, I found this one to just be kind of a slog to get through. Really don't have much positive to say about this other than William Dafoe. Outside of that, I couldn't really recommend 444 that much, but I am glad I have it because I do like Abel Ferrara. But yeah, not my favorite I've seen from them. Can I show this cover? Yes. I picked up A Good Day to Be Black and Sexy from the same vendor who was selling the 444. This is put out by Magnolia, and I never heard of this before. And so I thought, well, it's put out by Magnolia. I'll give it a shot. It was official selection for Sundance, nominated for Gotham Independent Film Awards for Breakthrough Director, and it's terrible. This is a terrible film in my opinion. It is basically a anthology of a bunch of vignettes of people in their sexual lives, and it is super boring. You don't spend any time with the characters to build up any kind of character development. The acting is really bad. It's written to be somewhat like documentary-esque, but the problem with that is it feels very forced. It feels very written. It doesn't have a naturalistic flow to it. And yeah, I just found this to be pretty pretty boring overall. I think I'd give this like I'd give like 4.44. I think like a 3 or 4 out of 10, and this one would be probably like a 2.5 or 3 out of 10. Not the best. I found at Half Price Books a Midsummer Night's Dream. This has actually been on my watch list for a little while now. I just love that cover. Put out by Kino Lorber. It just looks super interesting. So I do want to check this out at some point. At some point I will check it out. I just haven't got around to it yet. Yeah, I'm just curious. I found it for really cheap at Half Price Books and was like, okay. Oh, A Writer's Odyssey. This was a film that I was actually really looking forward to. It just seemed really interesting. And I grabbed it and watched it, and I actually really enjoyed this one. It's about a writer who's writing the story that's kind of influencing the real world in a way. And because of that, they hire basically an assassin to kill the man. But then the assassin, stuff happens, and it's really cool. It's a nice blend of both fantasy and real life. The acting is all pretty good. There is some weird ADR issues. At first, I didn't know if this was playing in the correct language, because we did watch it. I believe this is Mandarin. Yeah, we did watch it with the Mandarin language, this being a Chinese film. And there was just a lot of moments where it was off sync. It just didn't seem right. It seemed very ADR'd. And yeah, for the most part, the CGI too is hit or miss. Some of it looks good, some of it doesn't. But this was just a fun little fantasy film that I would recommend. 7.5 probably. Abraxas, Guardian of the Universe with Jesse Ventura. This was another one I found for that 10 for 10 booth. And it just looked like old sci-fi schlock, and that is pretty much what it is. It's terrible. I really didn't like it. I found it to be incredibly boring. I can't even remember what this is about, honestly. It's something like the okay, so Jesse Ventura is an intergalactic police officer. And they are there to find something. It feels very Terminator-esque in terms of stories, if I remember right. It's something like he's there to hunt down to save a boy before the villain alien comes and kills him. I honestly don't remember much about this. I think I gave it like a 2 out of 10 on IMDb. But yeah, I mean that's the way a lot of this update is going to be. I found at Half Price Books Action Point with Johnny Knoxville. We just watched how do I block you? Okay. I think we got it fixed out. Got this first spam comment. Awesome. We watched Jackass Forever, and we were both talking about how we'd like to see Johnny Knoxville in more movies. And we were talking about Action Point, how both of us remember watching it, not caring a whole lot about it, thinking it was kind of just middle of the road, not that great. And I found it for cheap. We wanted to rewatch it at some point. We haven't yet. Like I said, I found it for really cheap at Half Price Books, so I decided to go ahead and grab it. At that same vendor's market, another booth was selling Ad Astra, brand new, still sealed. I opened it for $4. So I grabbed Ad Astra with the Brad Pitts, and I really liked this movie. I thought it was good. I would like to rewatch it. I definitely felt, if I remember this one rightly, with Tommy Lee Jones. I didn't care much for the ending of this, but there were some scenes I really enjoyed, and if I remember right, the cinematography was really cool. But I figured for $4, it was probably worth grabbing. Still have not opened this one. One thing I've been doing this year, as opposed to any other time before, is I've actually started to resell on eBay, finding stuff to flip. And the reason why I'm doing that is to fund my own collection. I'm trying to net my own funding cost of these movies. And some of the stuff I come across, if I can get it for a good deal, I might just keep it for myself. And one of those is Ain't Them Body Saints. I think it's the first film by David Lowery. I'm not entirely sure. It's not been opened yet because I was on the fence for a while if I wanted to flip this or not, because I think I paid $2 for it. And I decided to end up keeping it just because it is David Lowery. I've liked his films that I've seen. I like a lot of the actors that's in this. Rooney Mara, Ben Foster, Casey Affleck. So I was like, at some point in time, I should watch this. I just don't know when that should be. But yeah, I've not watched it yet, but glad to add it collection. I don't watch movies like that I'm actually really interested in, so I can spend time watching movies like this, Alone in the Dark, that is absolutely dog shit. Uwe Boll, who everybody kind of rags on as being one of the worst directors of all time, directed this movie that is based on the video game that I've never played or know nothing really about. But this isn't really that bad of a movie. It's bad, but it is like okay sci-fi original level, if that makes any sense. Like if you ever watch like sci-fi original movies, this is somewhere in the mix of that. And sometimes I like those kind of crappy movies. This one's just really boring. Nobody cares. Christian Slater and Tara Reid are in this movie, and they don't obviously care to be there. It's basically, whoa, I can't remember what this was about. I watched it only a few weeks ago too. It's just that bad because it doesn't do anything like super offensive to like stand out. It's just so mediocre all the way around. I just realized too, I think the top of the insert and the bottom of the insert on this is cut. Yeah, I bet that's supposed to say widescreen on it. Weird. This is one of those things where I forced a 10 for 10 issue. Edward Cranberry is a private investigator specializing. Oh yeah, so like Tara Reid uncovers like this weird like thing where he releases villains and the government's trying to get him. Yeah, it's like 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10. I don't know. It's like some of these movies, they just escape my mind because they're just so eh. You know what I mean? One that I really liked was Anarchy, featuring Joe Manganiello, or however you say his name. This is a movie that's been on my watch list for a little while. I found it at a video game store for $2, and I was like, yeah. We watched it, and I actually really enjoyed this one. It has a really cool like blend of animation and real life. The animation they did was very comic booky, and it was pretty cool. And the film is actually just a lot of fun. So basically, Joe's character thinks he's this like superhero, like a Superman kind of story where he falls from, I can't remember the name of the world he's from in this one, Chronium. So like a Krypton, he comes to Earth though, but he loses all of his powers. And he's homeless, and he goes around telling this story to anyone who'll buy him a drink. And this boy wants to basically film him to become a journalist. He wants to be a journalist, so he takes this character's story and starts to produce it. Well, maybe it's real, maybe it's not, kind of thing. And I just remember it being a lot of fun. I thought it was pretty predictable in the sense of how it turns out, but I just found the overall film to be pretty fun. I also didn't like the sister drug dealer tie-in kind of thing. I thought was kind of lame, but outside of that, I thought it was a pretty good time. I mean, if you can find this for like on streaming or $5 or under, definitely check it out. One I've not opened but found at the Dollar Tree is Archive on DVD. I know nothing about this film. I just saw it was $1. I looked at some of the screenshots on the back, if I can glare off, and I said for $1.25 at Dollar Tree, why not? And just have not watched it yet. So at some point in time, I'll need to watch it. Another one. Why is it? Oh, weird. Wonder where I got this at then. So I picked up Atonement with James McAvoy and Keira Knightley, and honestly, I don't know where I grabbed this one at. I really don't remember. Where did I get this from? Don't know. But this is a movie that's been on my watch list for quite some time. Directed by Joe Wright. But the case, it's a DVD Blu-ray combo pack, but it's like in a case that's only for DVD. I mean, only for Blu-ray. So I don't remember where I got this at. I haven't watched it yet, but excited to watch it. And why can I remember where this was at? Why I cannot remember where I grabbed that at. Up next, another Dollar Tree grab on DVD, Baba Yaga, Terror of the Dark Forest from Scream Factory. Have not watched it, but I will grab pretty much any Scream Factory I find at the Dollar Tree. Haven't watched it yet. Another have not watched, Nicolas Cage, Bangkok Dangerous, which I do believe has a Blu-ray. This was in that 10 for 10 booth. This is one of the handful of Nick Cage movies I've yet to see. I know this one's not very well received, but it to me, I always remember this coming out in theaters around when it came out, always wanting to see it and just never did. So I have it and I will watch it at some point probably. Another one of this is not Scream Factory. This is just a Shudder. I've pretty much been picking up all the Shudder films too. I find at Dollar Tree. But that is The Barge People, which I have not heard good things about this movie. I have a buddy who's watched this who said this is not good. I have not watched it. At some point in time, I will watch it. But I figure for $1.25, I'd grab it. Like Shudder stuff, Scream Factory stuff, I'll pretty much grab anything I come across at Dollar Tree. Half Price Books pick up Batman The Dark Knight Returns Deluxe Edition. This is the one where Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2 are put together as one feature film. To me, this is one of my favorite Batman animated films. I've been putting off getting this for a long time. And actually, this version is harder to come by. So when I came across it for, I think, $10 at Half Price Books, I decided to go ahead and jump on it. And I've actually been wanting to rewatch this at some point. So I'm going to have to jump on and rewatch this. It also came with this sealed, like, cards. Like little like postery cards. I haven't decided to open it up yet, but the 2-disc set. So I'm glad to finally own this through the collection. And to finish off this little stack, another Batman. Batman Mystery of the Batwoman was on sale for $5 on Amazon, so I went ahead and got it. Have not watched it yet, have not opened it yet. But I would not be surprised if I haven't watched this before in my life. You know what I mean? I probably have seen this before at some point. I don't know if I'm going to get through all this today. I have to break this up into two. I believe this was another Dollar Tree one, Believer, on DVD. I believe this is a Korean film. It does not say language Korean. Okay. I was like, it should say on the back. Found it for $1. I don't know. $1.25, I should say. Beelzebub, another one I found at Dollar Tree for $1.25. I've not watched it yet, but I like him as an actor. I can't think of what his name is. It say on the back. Tobin Bell. Yeah, Tobin Bell. Jigsaw. I had to think. But yeah, have not watched it yet. I guess he's on the cover too. But some point. This one I have to justify. I found this at a video game store for $1. And that is the 1915 Birth of a Nation. Now, I have not watched this yet, but I do want to watch this at some point in time. But the reason why I got it is I think it's very important to look back on how things were normalized and understand where we've come from. Birth of a Nation being kind of the pro, like, kind of the pro KKK movie. And there is a thing on the back of here explaining, the history of this film and why, why it's so political and like why it's kind of important. And I think Kino Lorber put this out too on Blu-ray, why it's important to not erase films like this from history, but to keep them around as an archival piece to understand like how how bad things have been or so. The audio stream's current bitrate 0 is lower than recommended bitrate. We recommend using. So am I not saying anything? Oh, okay, it's coming through. I don't understand why that popped up. Is anybody watching? They can hear me, right? Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of my reasoning to get this. Like, there's certain movies that I think are one of the things that I collect movies for is the archiving of movies. That's one of the main reasons why I like to collect movies. I like to first off have my own favorite films and stuff like that, but I like the idea of this minor sense of preservation. And yeah, when I saw this for $1, I was like, I'm gonna get it. I'll watch it at some point just because of the history of this film, but I can't imagine I'll like it. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess, you know, what do you think of films like that in history and stuff? Are they worth watching? Are they worth keeping because of the history of it? I think so. Up next is the Black Dahlia. I've not seen this. This was in that booth. That's $2.99 or 10 for 10. So I grabbed it. It's a full screen edition, which I didn't realize when I grabbed it, or else I probably would have picked something else. Excuse me. But yeah, I've not watched it yet. Probably won't because it's full screen. I'll probably end up getting rid of that. Another one they finally put on sale on Amazon, and that is Black Dynamite. Black Dynamite being a movie that I've always wanted to watch fully. I have watched 90% of this movie. I caught it probably about 10 minutes into it on TV one day and watched it. I've always wanted to rewatch it. I just never come across it in store, and I've just never seen it for that good of a price. And when it was $5.99 on Amazon, I was like, order. Have not watched it yet. Really want to watch that one sometime soon. I need to open it up. Yeah, some of these I'm like, where did I get these from? I picked up Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz Blow, directed by Ted Deemy? Not sure. I picked up this. I've not seen it. I've always wanted to. And I am trying to remember where I found this at. Really don't remember where I got this one at. Maybe a pawn shop? Or like a Goodwill? Some kind of thrift store, maybe? But yeah, I'll watch it at some point. Another one on my watch list I still need to watch before I do like a 2021 list. Blue Bayou. Found this one for $7.99 at Half Price Books. I've actually been thinking about getting it new off Amazon for $15 or $16, whatever it is. So found it for cheaper, and I appreciate that. I will be watching that at some point. I did find at a used video game Blue Valentine on Blu-ray. So I finally own this one. It's probably my favorite Derek Cianfrance movie. Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams are both great in it. And funny enough, this used to be sold with other Valentine's movies. And this is not a Valentine movie. This is a very sad, brutal breakup movie. It's great, though. Would recommend it. Up next, The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue. I found this at Goodwill. I didn't realize that this was a sequel. I didn't realize there's 3 Brave Little Toaster movies. I've always heard of The Brave Little Toaster, and I've never seen it. And when I saw this, I thought, oh, I'm going to get it, because I've never seen Brave Little Toaster. It's only $1. And yeah, it's not the first one, so I've not watched it. I'm going to try to get the other 2. It's the 3rd one, so I'm going to try to get the other 2. Broken Swords, The Last in Line. So funny story about this movie. I found this at Dollar Tree, and I got it home, and I realized there was a ton of black mold all over it. It was still sealed. There's just a ton of black mold all over it. And I thought it was just part of the artwork. You know, I didn't really pay that close of attention. I just was a movie that I'd never seen before, Vikings, and I was like, okay. And it was in horrid shape. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just keep the discs. Well, I went back They restocked a little bit, and I found another copy, and I thought, well, I'll just get this. I got it, watched it, and this wasn't not worth buying twice. It's not even worth buying once. This is a 1 or 1.5 out of 10. It is terrible. The entire film takes place in one location with a bunch of terrible acting, a bunch of stupid dialogue, and it's about as cheap as a movie could feel cheap-wise. I have nothing positive to say about the film. They tried to build a world or a universe around what's happening, and it just doesn't work. Yeah, really, really lame. I did find from Kino Lorber, Bustin' Loose with Richard Pryor. I really like Richard Pryor as a comedian. I've not seen a ton of his films, and I've always wanted to. And I found this one for really cheap. I think it was $5.99 at Half Price Books, and it just looks like a good time. So basically, he's a con. He's an ex-convict, I think. Richard Pryor is, and he ends up driving this like school bus of children somewhere when they get mixed up like with like the KKK and stuff, and it just, I don't know, just reading the back of it just looked like a good time. So I'm gonna have to watch that one sometime soon. A movie I think we're gonna watch this weekend, at some point. But come on, now touch me, baby. That's what I always think of every time I read that. With Joaquin Phoenix and Woody Norman. This is a movie that's been on my watch list for 2021. So I need to get to it. I love Joaquin Phoenix as an actor. So yeah, excited to check that one out at some point. Camp Crowbrook, Camp Boringbrook by Scream Factory. This was not good. Found this at Dollar Tree. Also, I hate Dollar Tree putting on their little crappy stickers over the slipcase like that, because they do not come off without ripping the slipcase 90% of the time. Yeah, this movie is basically about a bunch, which thankfully it's not found footage, about a bunch of paranormal investigators going to Camp Coldbrook where some spooky stuff happened. It is so generic, cliched, boring. It is 89 minutes. That's all it was. My God, I feel like it took hours to get through this. The acting's bad. Yeah, don't really recommend. Another one, I've not opened this one yet. This was one I originally bought to flip, but I ended up keeping it. Candyman Day of the Dead by Vestron, sealed. Found this for $4. I was going to flip it, but I decided to keep it because I do like Candyman a lot. I've not seen this one. I still need to get Candyman 2, but it's also put out by Vestron, so I'm pretty content with that. Another one for the 10 for 10 stack, Capote. I think I'm pronouncing it right, with Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's one of his movies I've always wanted to see, just never have. And I've not watched it yet. I know this is on Blu-ray, but I figured for $8, I might as well go ahead and grab it just so I can watch it at some point. So at some point I'll watch Capote. Okay, so Blow, Atonement, this movie, I remember where I got them now. There's a record store. It's not very close. It's like an hour away. That were having movies. It was they were $3 a piece or $4 a piece, or they were 4 for $10. So I do remember that now. But one of my grabbed was Chaplin. So I do remember where I got those at. That's where I got Atonement and Blow from. Chaplin with Robert Downey Jr. I have not watched yet. I really want to. I like Charlie Chaplin as a director. I like Robert Downey Jr. somewhat as an actor. And I've heard great things about this. So at some point in time, I will watch Chaplin. Another one from that 10 for 10 vendor booth. Like I said, I've not watched a lot of these, and I do apologize for that. But I wanted to get these shelves cleaned up. So this Chum Scrubber with a ton of people. Glenn Close, Ralph Fiennes, name off the Jamie Bell, Justin Chatwin, Rory Culkin. So yeah, there's quite a bit of people in this. I've never seen this, but it was in that 10 for 10 booth. I've never even heard of this. I just saw some of the cast and I was like, okay. So check that out at some point. Grab another stack here. Like I said, I picked up some weird stuff this month. From that 10 for 10 booth, which I think I've probably actually paid 30 for 30. Cyber Tracker. Don the Dragon Wilson. This just looks like garbage. That I think is going to be fun. So that's why I got it. Not watched it yet. This was such a weird thing to find in that 10 for 10 booth that when I was trying to find 10 things, I was like, this is coming home with me. 4 movies: The Killers, Rage, Cut Up, Bang, The Murder Men. I looked these up on IMDb. They look like just basically a small independent filmmaker making these ultra low budget movies. I've not watched any of them yet. They look all shot on video, and I don't know if I'll ever watch them, but I thought they would be interesting, especially for $1. More from that booth: The Devil's Double with Dominic Cooper. A movie I've always wanted to check out. I just never have yet. My cousin's seen this and actually recommended it to me years ago. And I do believe this is on Netflix, or was on Netflix. But yeah, I've wanted to see it, so I'm excited to own a copy of it. Gonna replace the case at some point, probably. I can't. Whatever stickers that guy uses at his booth does not come off cases. So gonna figure that out later. But yeah, The Devil's Double. Don't know if that has a Blu-ray. I picked up The Disappearance of Alice Creed from that booth as well. It's a movie I've always been kind of interested in, just because I like some of the cast that's in this. Eddie Marsan being the main one that I like. Gemma Alterton, or how do you say her name, I like too, from what I've seen her in. But yeah, I've not watched it yet. It's like an old Blockbuster copy, but it was the one he had 2 copies of this. It was the one that was in much better shape. So one I'm actually really excited to check out: The Diving Bell and the Butterfly. I've heard the Sardonicast talk about this movie before, and it seemed really interesting. So when I saw it at that 10 for 10 booth, I was like, okay, cool. I will say that 10 for 10 booth is only DVDs. I've not come across one Blu-ray there. But yeah, this is one of them I was pretty excited to grab. I believe the Blu-ray is really hard to come by and expensive, so cool. I'll watch it at some point. I got this one off my buddy for $1, and that is Dr. Blood's Coffin. I've not watched it yet. It just looked fun. He was like, hey man, are you interested in this? I was like, sure, what do you want for it? He's like, I don't know, $1. And so I gave him $1 for it. Yeah, I'll probably watch it at some point. 1960. From that same record store that I got Blow and Atonement and everything like that from, I picked up Doom with Da Rock and Carl Urban. And I have not seen this movie, but I have seen the first-person shooter scene of this movie, and it looks wicked cool. I have a buddy who also said that this movie is just a really fun, dumb popcorn movie. So when I saw it for pretty cheap, I was like, okay, I'm in. I've not watched it yet, but I want to. From that 10 for 10 booth, Dororo, The Quest of a Samurai Warrior, just seems like something right up my alley. Looks fun. I know nothing about it. Looks like it's got some crazy CGI, or at least practical effects. Yeah, we'll see at some point, probably. Dollar Tree, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Dollar Tree one. Double Vision. I've not watched it. Don't know. From that 10 for 10 booth, Doubt. I know it has a Blu-ray, but Meryl Streep, Amy Adams, Philip Seymour Hoffman. But I figured for $1 I would grab it, so I have a copy of it to watch eventually, and that eventually will probably come eventually. Downrange. This sucked. Another Shudder movie found at the Dollar Tree. It is about a group of friends traveling when their car's tire blows out, and a sniper pins them down and is shooting at them. That's the whole movie. Characters are really dumb. They say really dumb things. They do really dumb things. The effects are okay. There was one shot I was like, oh, that was really cool. But then I realized it doesn't work. It was like someone got there. I'll just say it. Spoiler warning for Downrange. One character gets a shot in the head, leaves a big hole in their head. and the camera does this like where it shows the character like like, and then it pulls through the blown out head. And I was like, that was cool, but it actually doesn't match up when it shows the wide shot of how low the body was, because she's looking dead onto the camera and the body is actually way down low. So I don't know. Not very good. I don't know what I gave this. 3, 4 out of 10. Escape from Mogadishu, a Korean film that was on my list of movies I wanted to watch from 2021, and it's pretty good. It's not like, it's one of those ones like after watching it, it's dropped kind of out of my mind. But I remember watching it thinking it was fun. There were some good like intense moments, but yeah, looking back on it, there is some moments where I'm like, I don't like, you know what I mean? It's like I've not really thought about this movie much outside of that initial viewing. I guess we're going a little out of order because I grabbed stacks wrong. That's okay. We're getting through it. Up next, Fahrenheit 9/11, Michael Moore. I've not watched this one. I don't think I've actually watched this one at all. If I had it, it's been so long ago that I don't remember it. It was in that 10 for 10 booth. So I was like, cool. Not entirely sure if it has a Blu-ray. I'd be surprised if it doesn't. I did pick up Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. I've seen the first Fantastic Beast. I remember enjoying it, but I don't remember too much about it. And let me actually just this off. And I've never seen The Crimes of Grindelwald, so I have to watch it at some point. I did get into Harry Potter, and I figured that if I was going to get into Harry Potter, I should also do the Where the Beasts Are, and I've not seen the new one, so... Dollar Tree, I found Fences with Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, directed by Denzel. I've not seen it. I've seen clips of the play on YouTube, but I've not seen the movie. My buddy picked up Fear X by Nicholas Winding Refn, starring John Turturro. This is a movie I've always wanted to get. It's in this cool red case. Was never able to find it, and he found a copy for me, so I am very happy. Thank you for finding this for me. I've not watched it in a while. I did watch this movie back like outside of high school, so it's been a good long time. I remember liking it, so I'll have to rewatch it. Another one for the 10 for 10 booth, Final Cut with Robin Williams. I've not seen it, but I want to. Picked up Flea on Blu-ray. This is a movie that was pretty high on my watch list. I think I can lower my my gain a little bit here on the camera. It's getting bright outside. That looks a little bit better, don't it? Yeah, Flea I've not seen. But I have it now, so there is that. Yeah, I wonder why it's my banner, my thumbnail. That is weird. So, oh yeah, Flea. I thought it was pretty good. It's basically about a man who grew up gay in Afghanistan. Yeah, Afghanistan. And it's like him and his family trying to escape when Afghanistan was kind of like overthrown. You know, they all kind of get split apart and stuff. And it's about, you know, just kind of him growing up in this like kind of a tumultuous time, or however you say that word. And him looking back on it. The animation style is a little bit polarizing. There's some moments where I think it looks great. There's some moments where I think it looks really choppy. But I did like it overall. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10. A movie I thought was wickedly disappointing is Frankie Go Boom. I mean, this cast on this is just amazing, right? You got Charlie Hunnam, Chris O'Dowd, Lizzie Kaplan, Ron Perlman, and it sucks. So basically, Charlie Hunnam's character hooks up with Lizzie Kaplan's character, The brother, Chris O'Dowd, is a giant douchebag and films them having sex and then wants to release it online, and they got to like track it down. Kind of movie. Very similar story to Sex Tape with Kramer and Diaz and Jason Segel. Played more for comedy. The best part of the movie by far is Ron Perlman, who wears who's in drag in this one. He is just, I mean, he's just great. Ron Perlman's great, right? Chris O'Dowd is unbelievably terrible in this movie. I thought he was awful. Charlie Hunnam, I didn't think it was great. I really didn't care much for that one. I did pick up The French Connection off Amazon for $3.99. I've not watched it yet, but it is on my watch list. And I did have French Connection 2 I found at Dollar Tree, so now I have them both. So that's pretty cool. Speaking of Doc Ock, I picked up Frida from that 10 for 10 booth. I have not watched this one yet, but both me and my wife are pretty interested. It's this really cool, like 2-disc set. It is only DVD, but yeah, it is what it is. Alfred Molina's in it, Selma Hayek. I've heard good things about this one. Nominated for a couple Oscars. So at some point in time, I do need to watch Frida. I have it to watch it eventually. Okay. So there was a trip I went to Big Lots. I had a $15 off coupon. It was basically like, it was 15 or 5. I can't remember. It was like basically like, I think it was spend $15, get $5 back or something like that along those lines. So I just found some stuff on the clearance that I've been putting off getting, or, you know, just whatever, so I can use that coupon. One of those being The Gambler. I thought this movie was decent when I watched it in theaters, but I remember nothing about it. So for $2.50, I thought, sure, I'm not opened it yet. At a pawn shop for $1, I did find Gladiator Steelbook, that Blu-ray Steelbook that I bought to replace my copy of Gladiator. From my understanding, it's the exact same discs because they're both by Sapphire. So I'm just replacing my copy with the Gladiator Steelbook copy I found for $1. From that 10 for 10 booth, one of the cooler finds was Grizzly Man. Case needs replaced. The case is just kind of dirty. Can't get the stickers off. But by Werner Herzog. This movie's been on my watch list for a long time, and it's pretty good. It's basically about this guy who goes out and documents him living with grizzly bears. And I don't think it's a spoiler. But if you don't want to be spoiled, then just back out now or skip ahead by 30 seconds. But, you know, the bears kill and eat him, you know, and apparently the whole attack too was filmed. So it's not shown, but it is there. It's existing somewhere. I think it's just the audio though. I don't think it actually like catches on camera him being mauled by these giant things, but it's really an interesting character piece about, I think his name's Timothy, about him living with the bears and him like kind of being obsessed with them and this like weird delusion he kind of slips into about being out there. It's a pretty interesting documentary. I think I'd give it like a 6.5 out of 10. There's just like some moments where I found myself kind of uninterested in it, but for the most part, pretty interesting. A movie that I'm sure is probably going to be crap being put out by SP and Echo Bridge. It was a Dollar Tree grab, The Guard of Auschwitz. I mainly got this because it seemed mildly interesting. Some of the cinematography seems really dark, and it looks like it could be a little bit better shot than a lot of these SP outings that I'm used to. But my thought was like, this is probably a movie my mom would like. So if I don't like it, it can go to her, you know? The last from this stack before we grab another one is Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Volume 2. When I went to Half Price Books, I had in mind that I wanted Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Volume 2, because I have one, and I found the cool Target exclusive for $5.99, so I'm pretty happy about that. Moving on. I will say I think 2 is nowhere near as good as 1. Gumby Arctic Antics. Found this at Dollar Tree. It's sliding out of the slipcase. Um, yeah, I don't know. Not watched it yet. I thought it could be fun because it's like just a bunch of shorts. That if like I had friends over for a movie night for Christmas or around that time to like throw into the mix, which is why I grabbed it. Gumby is something that I watched as a kid. So, up next we have Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix as I hit the microphone, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Now, can you tell me why this hurts my soul? Because 3 and 5 don't have slipcases, and they like these slipcases are cool too. They're like these like kind of shiny semi-holographics. They have the years on the side, so if I come across year 3 and year 5 at somewhere used, I will totally rebuy them. I will double dip for the slipcase. I don't care. The reason why I decided to get the Harry Potters this way instead of in the box set was it was actually cheaper to go this way, and I also really like the additional covers. I like the covers a lot. I just recently read the Harry Potter books. By read, I mean audiobooks, and I loved them. I absolutely fell in love with them. And I had only seen Harry Potter 1 and 2, and I had not seen them since being a kid when they came out in theaters. It's just Harry Potter was something as a kid I just never got into, and as an adult, I don't know why, because it's everything I like. I really loved the books. We binged through all 8 movies last week, and I really enjoyed them. I thought they were pretty respectful to the books. They do take some liberties. They do make some changes. They do omit some stuff, but I thought overall they were pretty fair to the books, and I thought the movies were all pretty good. So definitely recommend checking out Harry Potter if you have not. I may talk about them longer in a longer video. I don't know yet. I'm working on a Harry Potter tier list video, and I don't know if it'll get done, but it is something, you know? I picked up Hawaii with Julie Andrews and Max Van Snoud, or how do you say his name, and Richard Harris. I've not watched it yet, but I found it at Dollar Tree, and I thought it looks kind of interesting. More Dollar Tree stuff. Hector and the Search for Happiness. Have not watched it. Have not heard anything about this. Pretty large cast. Simon Pegg, Toni Collette, Rosamund Pike, really. Stellan Skarsgård, Jean Reno, however you say his name, Christopher Plummer. I mean, it's a lot of big name actors. Some point. I Planes Invader, one of those Maneater movies. I've been collecting these Maneater series. They have pretty much all sucked. This one's one of the betterish ones, but it's still not great. Basically, it's like set during the Old West time. One person's going to be hung for execution when these like alien things show up and start terrorizing the town, and then for some reason that guy becomes buddies with everybody. It's really weird. These people don't look like they're Old West people. They just look like they're in costumes. CGI is terrible, but it is kind of fun at moments. These Maneater movies mostly suck, so that's just fair warning. If you're interested in those. These steel prick protectors I got recently suck. They're like too short. Should have sent them back, but it is what it is. But I got the Howling Steelbook. I bought this from a buddy. He upgraded it. I think to 4K and asked me if I wanted it, and I was like, "Yep, I like that Steelbook a lot." I have not watched it yet. I do believe, and very strongly believe I've seen this movie before, but it has been so long that I do not remember. But yeah, the Steelbook protectors I bought recently suck. Where was this at? Can't remember if this was. I think this might have been Dollar Tree. But this weird, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I don't know anything about this. It's just so weird looking, right? By Digital Versatile Disc Ltd. I've not watched it yet, but these weird animations like this, I love. So when I saw this, I was like, hell yes. Not watched it yet, but interested. From that 10 for 10 booth, Hypothermia with one of my favorite actors, Michael Roker. Looks fun. It just looks like a fun time. Like some kind of weird, like, Arctic monster movie. This is the reversible artwork. I like this artwork better. I've not watched it yet, but it does look fun, so I am excited to watch it at some point. Another stack. I Kill Giants from the producers of Harry Potter. I've not seen this, but this actually has been on my list for a little while. It just looks like a fun kind of teen drama fantasy movie. Found it at Dollar Tree and I thought, cool. Another Dollar Tree find, Ill Final Contagium. This is actually a movie. It's XP Echo Bridge, which is why I did not get it at Walmart. But this is one of them that I actually thought about buying at Walmart when it came out. I did not, but I have it now because I found it at Dollar Tree. More Dollar Tree. If She Screams. Another SP Echo Bridge. Probably garbage. Have not watched it. I have such a bad habit of just buying dumb shit for $1. Shout Factory in Harm's Way with Amelia Hirsch. I've not watched it yet, but I'm down. I'll watch it at some point. From that 10 for 10 booth, In This Great Place. Not a movie I've ever heard of, but a lot of film festival stuff. Looked interesting enough. For $1, you know. Found this one for $1, and I'm happy about it. Incendies by Denis Villeneuve, better known as the Dune director. This is one of his earlier films, one of his French films. I've heard great things about it. I've heard the Sardonicast podcast talk about it. It was in my watch list way before then, and it made me even want to see it more. And when I came across a copy of this on DVD for $1, I was very happy. And I don't know, is there a Blu-ray for that? Incendies Blu-ray. Yes, there is. Okay, so at some point in time, maybe I'll upgrade it. But for right now, at least I have a copy of it to potentially eventually watch. Insectula. Insectula. This is a movie that was on sale on Amazon that, I mean, look at the cover of that. I didn't realize this, though, until I got it, but this is like a 2014 movie or something. 2016. So it's a newer movie. It looks like utter garbage, utter trash, but in a very fun way. So at some point, I'm going to have to watch this one. Maybe I'll have a couple buddies over, throw it up on the projector. This was actually one of the cooler things from that 10 for 10 booth that I found. Invisible Children. I have seen this movie before. It's a documentary about basically these young children who's kind of caught up in the civil war in Uganda. And it comes with this really cool, like, it's like a soundtrack, maybe? Yeah, it's like a soundtrack or something. It's I don't know. Came with this. Pretty cool. But yeah, I remember this movie being pretty good. Autumn wants to watch it, so at some point we'll watch it. But I thought this was a cool grab for $1. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen this. And if I remember right, we actually watched this in school. But I remember it being pretty powerful stuff even back then, back in high school. So at some point we're gonna watch that. I believe this was another Big Lots grab, The Italian Job. I'm pretty sure it was. Pretty sure. I've never seen this. I've rode the roller coaster at Kings Island, but I've never seen the movie. So at some point, I will watch that. One that I need to replace the case to from that 10 for 10 booth, Jeff Who Lives at Home. This is a movie I remember liking when I watched it years ago on Netflix. I've not seen it since. But it was like, I got to get to 10 movies to get that $10, get that big time discount. So I grabbed it. You know, Dollar Tree find Jedi Junkies, The Force is Strong with Them is a documentary basically of the Star Wars fandom, people who are like ultra obsessed with Star Wars. And it's okay. I feel like it was a little disjointed as a documentary. I don't feel like it really told much of a narrative. It kind of just took a lot of vignettes of people who are just obsessed with Star Wars. And really, if you're not a Star Wars fan, you'll probably find this just be kind of boring. As a Star Wars fan, it helped me get to the end. I think I'd give this like a 4.5 out of 10. But Jedi Junkies. Up next is Junebug. Again, the 10 for 10 booth, the cases are just, that's where the issue is. So, lot of actors in this. Amy Adams, Ben McKenzie, Scott Wilson. Can never remember her name. I'm going to assume she's Embeth Davids, but I feel like that's not right. But I've not watched it yet. Just a lot of actors. So 10 for 10. Big Lots grab Jungle. I've never seen this. I know this has a Blu-ray, but it was $3, and I was, like I said, using that coupon. But this is directed by the guy who did Wolf Creek, Greg McLean, with Daniel Radcliffe. So I've always wanted to see it, just never have. Now I own it. The last out of this stack I found for a pawn shop, at a pawn shop for $1. Jupiter Ascending by the Wachowski sisters. Wachowskis. Sorry. I have never seen this. I've heard nothing but terrible things about this, which is why I wanted to see it. And honestly, it's probably going to take a special day for me to sit down and watch it, but I have it. We might get through this update. Up next, from that 10 for 10 booth, Killers, a Korean film I've not watched, but it's been on my watch list for a long time. If I remember right, the Blu-ray is harder to find. There's one of these movies that the Blu-ray is hard to find, and I don't know if it's Killers or if it's Bedeviled. Not sure, but yeah, I want to see this at some point. Found at a pawn shop. I just thought this looked so weird and interesting. But Kiena the Prophecy, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. Never heard of this before. And that's what, like, going out into these like weird oddball places to try to find stuff to flip. I've actually found some really interesting things, I think. This being one of them. So hopefully at some point I will sit down and watch this. Don't know when, but at some point I will. Next up, I cannot show you the back of this movie because of nudity, but Kentucky Fried Movie, the Kentucky Fried Movie by John Landis, I found at a Half Price Books clearance rack for $3. Now, this is the German release. Like I said, I cannot show you the back of it. It does come with alternate art, kind of. It's not really alternate art as much as it is the cover has the German rating on it, on this side of it. I've not watched this one yet. But I thought for $3, it's cool to have a German release, but this film has, and I do have a region-free player, this film does have English subtitles and English original language. It's originally an English language film. So I was like, for $3, like, this is interesting. Being John Landis, I've not ever heard of this, so I'm excited to watch this one. More Dollar Tree schlock, Elvis the Kid Galahad. I've not watched this one, but I thought it'd be cool to have. One that I actually thought was really cool to find at Half Price Books for really cheap was Knights of Badassdom. Now, if I remember right, this movie is out of print, if I remember right, and it's a little bit more on the pricier side of, like, I think it's in the mid-teens to $20-some for this or whatever. I could be very wrong on that, but I found it for pretty cheap at Half Price Books, and I remember watching this one a while back, probably around the time it came out, which would have been about 2014. So yeah, I probably watched this around 2014, 2015, on some streaming service, and I remember liking it. So when I saw this at Half Price Books, I was like, okay, cool. I would like to rewatch it at some point. I haven't yet. If I remember right, it's basically about a bunch of LARPers when the LARPing becomes real. So yeah, I'm excited to watch that one at some point. More clearance from Big Lots, $250 for Tomb Raider. I've not seen this in years. Like, I think I went and saw this in theaters, and that's it. Like, I don't think I've seen it since. So I thought it'd be cool to grab for $1. From that 10 for 10 booth, we have Layer Cake. This is one of the earlier films directed by Matthew Vaughn, who I think is a pretty underrated director. All-star stellar cast. I mean, look at all of them. Just look at it. The back of it needs a little bit of cleaning up, but yeah, not watched it. It was in that 10 for 10, so I decided to grab it. From that record store, I did find Lost in Translation with Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson, a movie I've never seen, but has been high on my watch list for a long time. I do want to watch this one sometime very soon. This one I think was at that 10 for 10 booth as well, The Man with the Golden Arm, with Frank Sinatra. And it says it's a double feature theater, but I think the double feature is just some kind of interview with Frank Sinatra. I don't think it's like, yeah, it's a 30-minute interview with Frank Sinatra, and that's it. That's the double feature. But and yeah, I don't know. I thought it seemed cool. I've not seen any Frank Sinatra's movies, and it was $1. At that same vendor's market, I found another booth with something interesting. I think I paid $8 for this, but Maniac, the Blue Underground 30th Anniversary Edition. I do believe they did a 4K of this, but I've not seen this movie, so I thought for $8, I am more than happy enough to grab it, and I will watch it at some point. Now, I think this is the one that the Elijah Wood Maniac is based off of, which I love and I need to buy at some point very badly. So if that's the case, excited. I'm going to have to check it out. More 10 for 10 booth. Matchstick Men, Nicolas Cage, Sam Rockwell. Never seen this one. Again, another Nick Cage movie I've not come across. I'm not watched yet. I mean, I've come across it before. I love these old DVD cases. I wish they did more of them like that. But have not watched it yet. And I do believe it has a Blu-ray. I think this was in that 10 for 10 booth, if I remember right, but Mirror Mask on DVD. Not watched it, but it looks weird. I will watch it at some point. Dollar Tree, Monsters. Shudder Original, not watched it yet. This was from Dollar Tree. I've not opened it yet, but Javier Bardem, Mondays in the Sun. I love Javier as an actor. Excuse me. I love Javier as an actor. So for $1.25, yeah, I'll check out something he's in that I've never heard of. So hopefully it's pretty good. From that 10 for 10 booth, excuse me, Monster on DVD. I do believe this has a Blu-ray. I just wanted to own a copy of this movie. We actually watched this not too long ago on a streaming service, and really liked it. It did come with this cool like little advertisement for the Eileen Wuornos documentary that I wouldn't mind having at some point. Or I guess interview. I would like to have that at some point. But Charlize Theron and Christina Ricci are both just amazing in this. This is just a movie totally driven by absolutely stellar performances, and I really liked it. I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. So yeah, bought it to have a copy of it. I needed to get to 10 and to get a copy of it. Found this one at Dollar Tree for $1. Mother, directed by Darren Aronofsky, also with Javier Bardem, and Jennifer Lawrence. A lot of people. This seems a pretty like mixed response movie. Some people really like this. Some people hate this. I'm in the camp of really enjoying this. And I just wanted to own a copy of it. I've wanted to get it on Blu-ray for a long time. Just never have. And I'm not opposed to like buying movies on DVD for really cheap, so I have a copy of it and then upgrading later, which is probably going to be the case with Mother. Some of these. The last stack I have pulled out, and then we'll do like a little intermission to like grab some other stuff. So, Murder at Midnight was in that 10 for 10 booth. It looks awful. I've not seen it. I'll watch it at some point. Napping Princess on DVD I found at Dollar Tree by G Kids. I do want to find this on Blu-ray. I did enjoy this one. It's about a girl who, when she sleeps, she goes into this dream world that influences the real world. Kind of similar to a writer's Odyssey, but more of dreamish. And I thought it was pretty good. I think I'd give it like a 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10. The animation looks great, and I would like to upgrade this at some point. So hopefully, I've seen people in the Dollar Tree group I'm in find that on Blu-ray at Dollar Tree. So hopefully, I will. I picked up Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind at Walmart for $14.95. I don't really have a real good. I've not opened it yet. This is one of the few Studio Ghibli movies I've not watched yet. I don't really have a good reason to why I decided to grab this when I did. I just did, you know? I was like, you know what? Sure. So I grabbed Nausicaa. I don't know. I'll watch it at some point. More Dollar Tree Shutter stuff. The Night Shifter. Try to get this stuff off if I can. Not watched it, so yeah. Picked up Nomadland when it was on sale on Amazon, I think for $8.99. I've not seen it. Won Best Picture. I would like to collect all the Best Picture winnings, even if I don't think they're good movies. I've not seen Nomadland. The reason why I did not see it is because it looked so kind of middle of the road. But I do like Frances McDormand a lot as an actress. So I do want to watch this at some point. But the only Chloe Zhao movie I've seen is Eternals, and that's not very good. So I am curious to see what this is like. I will watch it again at some point. From Big Lots, I picked up Open Season on the Blu-rays. I got a buddy who just texted me. He was like, "We should marathon the Studio Ghibli movies." Yes, we should. Yes, we should, my friend. There's a good handful of them I have not seen yet. My only problem is there's like 30 of them. So you'd have to like cherry pick a good handful of them to watch. But I picked up Open Season. I hadn't seen this one in a long time. Autumn has never seen it. And we watched it, and it's just, I mean, it's right down the middle. It's not bad. It's not great either. It's very in the middle. You know what I mean? Up next, Dollar Tree Pentagram. This looks like horror garbage, but I don't know. Only $1.25. From the same booth I found Maniac, I found Pieces on DVD. Pieces, it's been a movie. It's like a video nasty-esque movie that's been on my watch list for quite some time. I know there's a big 4K box thing of it, but I think this was $5. I thought from that booth I'd go ahead and grab it so I could watch it. These are these kind of movies that I don't care what format they're on. They're probably not going to look any better than any other format. It's probably best suited on VHS. And watching it, I was kind of bored through most of it. I thought the gore effects weren't really that fun. The killer I thought was kind of boring. It's basically just a chainsaw dude roaming a college, chopping people up. And like he like pieces together a jigsaw puzzle as he does it. It's weird. I don't know. I just found it to be kind of boring. I really wasn't that interested in it, but I do own it now. More movies. The Piper. I've not seen it. Found it at Dollar Tree. Thought it looked interesting. Probably gonna watch it at some point. From that 10 for 10 booth, Plague Town. This is by one of the co-founders. This is by David Gregory. He's, I believe, one of the co-founders of Severn Films. This is his movie. I found it at DVD booth. Now, I do know that Severn released this film on the Blu-rays, but I've not seen it yet, and I thought for $1 I'd get it, try it out. Maybe one day I'll watch it and like it and grab the Severn copy, but for right now, that's going to be good enough. Prevenge on DVD. I do believe this one has a Blu-ray, but this is one I remember thinking about getting when it came out and just didn't, and found it at Dollar Tree, and we'll watch it at some point. It looks like it could be pretty fun. One I've not opened yet, but the program with Chris O'Dowd and Ben Foster. If I remember right, this is about Lance Armstrong. From the director of The Queen and Philomena, which I thought Philomena was fantastic. Jesse Plemons is also in this, so found this at Dollar Tree, so I'm pretty excited to check this out at some point. From that 10 for 10 booth, Punch Drunk Love, which I have never seen. One of the few PTA movies I've not seen. Adam Sandler, considered one of his best movies ever. I know Criterion put this out, and I do want the Criterion version at some point, but I thought for $1 I would get it in case I wanted to watch it before I ever grabbed the hold of the Criterion release. So I at least own it. And another one that I thought about buying to flip, but Pyewacket. I decided to end up keeping this one. This is a movie that's been kind of on my watch list for a little while now, and I think I paid $5 for it. Yeah, it looks good. I have not watched it yet. It's not opened it. I've not even opened it yet, but I am curious to see what it's like. I'm going to grab some more movies, so please just give me a minute. We're almost done. All right. Reply to a few text messages here. All right. I think my phone just died. Cool. Anyway. Venture onward. We have Ran on 4K. This was a Christmas gift from a buddy of mine. I do really appreciate it. One of Kira Kurosawa's last films. And this 4K is just wicked cool. Check that out. Absolutely stunning 4K set. I'm very excited to watch this at some point. I will watch it sometime soon soonish. I want to anyway. But yeah, awesome set. Thank you so much for the Christmas gift. More from the Dollar Tree. Rainbow Kids. Not seen it. Looked interesting. From the 10 for 10 booth, I found Reno 911 Miami, the movie. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I've always been a big fan of Reno 911. So when I saw the movie for $1, I was pretty happy. I remember the movie being really funny, but it's been a while since I've seen it. From the Dollar Tree, Resistance with Jesse Eisenberg and Ed Harris. I've never seen it. Interesting enough cast. I remember this came out. It got like decent reviews, so decided to grab it from the Dollar Tree. From Half Price Books, I found Resurrected from Twilight Time. This movie was on their clearance rack for $3. I think it's because the case was really busted up, but I got a new case to replace it with. Has the booklet and everything. An early David Thewlis movie, so I am very excited to check this one out. Just haven't got around to it. That's the story of this one, ain't it? So from that same record store, having the same issue as Atonement, but Guy Ritchie's Revolver. The DVD is loose. I've not seen this one yet. This is, I think, this one and the one he did with Madonna are the only two Guy Ritchie movies I haven't seen. So I am excited to check this one out at some point. Actually, just recently got this one, but Rise of the Machine Girls. This is a Machine Girls sequel, I believe, which is a J-exploitation film that I remember really enjoying back in the day. So pretty excited to get this one. I ended up jumping on this one because when it came out, it was unavailable on Amazon. And as soon as like one of them came into stock, I was like, purchase. So I'll watch it at some point. Like I said, there's a lot of these I've not watched. Road movie. Never heard of this. Found this at that booth for 10 for 10. And thought sure. Not watched it yet. From that 10 for 10 booth, I found Road Racers, which is a fantastic Robert Rodriguez movie. It's one of my favorites. Unfortunately, the stupid DVD thing is caught on the insert, and it's ripping it if you try to remove it. So that is a great bummer because this movie is out of print. Which sucks. Would love to own this on Blu-ray. I already own this on DVD, but it's in a multi-pack. So when I found the standalone for $1, I decided to go ahead and grab it. It includes some behind-the-scenes director's commentary and stuff with Robert Rodriguez. Like I said, it's one of my favorite Rodriguez movies. Definitely check this one out. Very pulpy. I found Robin Wright at the Congress from Draft House on DVD at that 10 for 10 booth. I grabbed this because Draft House stuff is out of print. It does have a little booklet with it and alternate art. I've never seen it. In Draft House lineup, this is probably one of them that's lower on the list of movies I really want to see. But I figured for $1 I'd go ahead and grab it. I do think the Blu-ray to this is still relatively easy enough to get a hold of. But I figured I'd get it on DVD, watch it first. Something I thought was really cool that I found at Dollar Tree. Sorry for hitting the microphone. The Roller Derby Chronicles. 3-disc set about roller derby. I've not watched it yet. I've not opened it yet because I like the packaging a lot. But yeah, roller derby is an interesting sport. I grew up, my family owned a roller rink, so I'm pretty close tied to roller skating. But yeah, I thought this was really cool to find for $1.25. So I just have not watched it yet. The Room, not Tommy Wiseau or the Brie Larson movie. Some horror movie Shudder put out. I've not watched. Found at Dollar Tree. Another Dollar Tree find, Rumpelstiltskin from MGM. I know nothing about it, but Rumpelstiltskin's an interesting story. And I thought, sure, I'd go ahead and grab it. I have not watched it. And I got the Rundown from that record store as well. I realized I got a lot of rock stuff. And the same thing. It's the DVD's loose. It's not a 2-disc case. Weird. But the rundown, Sean William Scott. I've not seen this in a long time. Wouldn't mind watching it again sometime here soon. Venturing onward. I picked up Scalps on DVD. This is a movie that is out of print. The DVD is weirdly enough more expensive than the Blu-ray right now. I found this at that booth with Maniac and Pieces. They wanted $10 for it. And I decided to go ahead and get it just because I knew that this was out of print. The Blu-ray was limited to like 1,400 copies. But apparently the DVD is harder to come by. And it was all right. I mean, you know. I don't remember too much about it. It's something about these kids go to the desert and there's some kind of like zombie man hunting them down, scalping them. I really don't remember too much about this now I think about it. It was like maybe some kind of Indian burial ground or something like that. Yeah, I remember like watching it though and being like mildly entertained. It's only 80 minutes. But yeah, like now I'm like thinking back on it, it's like I really don't remember much about that. But Scalps, I have it. Scorpion King, I've never seen it, but now I own it. It was at that record store. Again, the DVD is loose with the Blu-ray, but it is what it is. But yeah, I have Scorpion King. I need to watch it at some point. Seagulls I found at the Dollar Tree. I just really love that artwork, that cover. That cover's really cool. I don't know how good the movie is because I've not watched it yet. Like I've said that a million times. But the cover's really cool. Cool cover normally equals terrible movie though, right? One of these I've actually seen and I absolutely adore this movie. It's one of my favorites of 2021. The Spine of Night. It is a beautifully animated film that should have had a doom stoner sludge metal soundtrack. I did think the music to this film they did use was great. But it could have used like some Sleep or some like Stone Jesus or like some Electric Wizard or something. But so the film is basically about this power. Can't remember off the top of my head what it's called, but it's like this blue like flame power, and it's kind of an anthology chronicling through people who kind of abuse this power or abuse their power. And I don't want to give away too much about this, but like it's really cool. There's some really brutal moments, there's some really great moments, but it's this kind of overarching story that all ties together very nicely at the end of it. It's like, it's an animated masterpiece in my opinion. Highly, super recommend it. It's like a 9.5 for me. I adored this movie completely. The animation is just stunning. If you like stuff like that's animated in the style of like heavy metal, something along those lines, this would be right up your alley. Definitely check out Spine of Night. More Dollar Tree stuff. Spree with Joe Carey. I've not seen this. I've heard mixed things about it. But I do want to watch it at some point. Again, screw off Dollar Tree with putting your really ultra sticky stickers on the slipcases. But yeah, I do want to check this out at some point. From that 10 for 10 booth that like I said, I think I ended up going like 30 for 30. The Sorcerer's Apprentice with Nick Cage and Jay Marshall. How do you say his last name? Baruchel? I don't know. But anyway, I've not seen it. I've not heard really anything about this movie. I've never really heard anybody talk about this movie. But I thought maybe it could be fun. I'm always up for a Nick Cage. You know what I mean? One of the most recent things I picked up, Spider-Man No Way Home on 4K. I'm mad because I wanted the Walmart exclusive slipcase because I like the artwork on it. Unfortunately, could not find one, but I did find Spider-Man No Way Home on 4K. Really like this one. This last like wave or so of the MCU has been so boring, so kind of lame. Spider-Man's definitely been kind of one of the highlights of it, but this movie was fantastic. To me, this is going to go up as one of the best in the MCU. I don't want to spoil much of this movie at all. I don't want to really talk very much about this movie because of the spoilers. I was able to avoid the spoilers until the home release. I did not see this in theaters, but I was able to avoid it. And being a longtime Spider-Man fan from the animated show as a kid to the Tobey Maguire movies, I'm not a fan of the Andrew Garfield ones, but I have seen them, and watching this movie do the things it did as someone who is kind of invested in Spider-Man as a character, I fell pretty hard for a lot of the fanfare and really enjoyed it. Solid 8 out of 10. Star Trek: The Motion Picture on DVD, found at Dollar Tree. I've never seen it. I've always wanted to watch the Star Trek movies, and in reality, I probably shouldn't have got this. I should probably just get a box set of them, but for $1.25 and in the moment. I was able to find Star Wars Attack of the Clones 2 widescreen at a pawn shop for $1. So I now have all the Star Wars movies except for, what is it, Rise of the Skywalker, whatever the 9th movie is. I don't own that one yet, but I do own all the prequels. And, you know, when it comes to the Star Wars and stuff like that, it's weird because, like, one of those things is, like, the higher, like, you got Blu-ray, it's 4K, stuff like that, the worse they are in the terms of, like, how much editing's happened to them. So I'm not opposed to trying to get some of the older releases, but I just kind of wanted to own copies of them, you know, before I, like, try to upgrade them all to Blu-ray or 4K or whatever I end up doing with them. Attack of the Clones being my least favorite. I think it's everybody's least favorite. But I own it, so. And I actually found too, at the same place, Star Wars bonus material. This is just an extra DVD that came with a set that just has a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. So that was really cool. I was actually really happy to find this one. I did replace the case. I had a clear case I replaced it with. The case was in horrible shape. But yeah, so that's a nice little like tag along thing to go with my Star Wars stuff. From that 10 for 10 booth, I found Stardust with Robert De Niro and stuff, directed by Matthew Vaughn as well. This is another Matthew Vaughn movie I have not seen, one of his earlier films. Michelle Pfeiffer also in this, so excited to check this one out at some point. I do believe it has a Blu-ray, but for $1, you know what I mean? I think I found this one at that same record store because I think I got 8 movies from them for the 4 for 10 deal. But Stargate with Kurt Russell and James Spader. I have not watched this. Directed by Roland Emmerich, but I now have it. So at some point, you know. From the Dollar Tree, I've not opened this. I've actually watched this before on Netflix, but Sunset Strip. It's a documentary about the Sunset Strip, about the, you know, the life and the style of that during the 80s. I think it goes all the way up to like now too, or is it just 80s and 90s? I don't know. It's like a documentary on the Sunset Strip. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I'm pretty sure it goes up to modern day too. But just a lot of interview with a lot of famous people, and kind of interesting if you grew up a hair metal fan like I did because of my mom. So Sunset Strip, found it for $1. Weird slipcase, weird like little like mini slipcase. Moving right along. Trespass with Nicolas Cage and Nicole Kidman. Found this one at the Dollar Tree. I've not seen this one. It's also directed by Joel Schumacher, also known for the Batman and Robin. And I think Batman Forever, I think he did that one too. But another Nick Cage movie I've not seen. French 11, found at the Dollar Tree. Never seen this. Thought it looked pretty interesting. I mean, the cover's really cool. Which again, if I've known anything about low budget movies, the cooler the cover, the worse it is. But I'm going to keep optimistic for this one. I'll watch it at some point. From that 10 for 10 booth, Traffic. I've never seen this one. Directed by, I believe this one, yeah, Steven Soderbergh. I've not seen this one. I believe it was a winner of Best Picture, right? Best Director. Best Film Editing, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Supporting Actor, Benicio del Toro. So it was not Best Picture winner, but excited to watch that one at some point. I like Steven Soderbergh as a director. Terminal. Found this one at Big Lots for $5. I know some people's found this at Dollar Tree. If you can find this under $10, I definitely recommend it. This was a pretty cool movie until the last 10-15 minutes of it. Margot Robbie, Simon Pegg, Mike Myers are all in this movie. And it's basically about Simon Pegg shows up at this diner. He's got like a terminal cough. And he starts talking to Margot Robbie's character, all while there's this weird, like, gangster plot being told by Mr. Man, or whatever his name was, about getting this briefcase, and there's all this weird double cross. Like, there's all kinds of weird, crazy things happening in this. But it all ties together really nicely at the end to have a very satisfying ending. And then the movie keeps going for like 15 minutes, and it completely ruins it. You know, it just keeps going, and it's like, stop! Just stop what you're doing, please! Please just stop. But it's pretty well shot. It's got good coloring. Overall, I definitely recommend Terminal if you can catch it. I just wish it would have stopped sooner. A movie I actually bought twice, Underdog. I bought the DVD, watched it on DVD, and then later, both of these at Dollar Tree, by the way, and then later found the Blu-ray. And I actually liked this movie enough to actually upgrade it to Blu-ray. This is a movie a coworker of mine actually caught on TV and was telling me about, that he really liked it. So I actually came across the Dollar Tree. I was like, oh, cool. Give it a shot. And it's not bad. It's SP Echo Bridge. So take that with a grain of salt. But it is basically about a girl who ends up being a drug addict, and to kind of kick her addiction, she ends up becoming a like UFC fighter. It's not bad. It's fairly well written. There's some good characters, good character development. Some of the fight scenes are okay. There's definitely issues with this movie. The acting is all over the place. The girl who plays Sam Miller is pretty decent, but the rest of the cast is up in the air. The fight scenes aren't that bad, but it's the way, like, the fight themselves ain't that bad, like the fight choreography, but it's the announcers, it's everything going on around the fight that is pretty distractingly bad. It's just not believable, you know? But it's not bad. It's not a bad little low budget, like, MMA kind of fight movie. I will be getting rid of the DVD now that I have the Blu-ray, but I just haven't got to that point yet. Actually, the Blu-ray is a combo pack, so cool. Another Dollar Tree, Valley of the Lanterns, director's cut. Again, just an animated movie. Some things I almost always pick up at Dollar Trees are weird animated stuff, and then a lot of the horror stuff. So I've not checked it out yet, but yeah, Valley of the Lanterns. And 10 for 10 booth, Vicious Kiss. I have not seen this. It looks straight shot on video garbage. That who knows if I'll ever actually watch it, but I like having it for whatever reason. I picked up Visionaries. I actually bought this twice. This is one of the few times where I have actually bought a movie twice incorrectly. But I can say this wasn't entirely my fault. So I've always wanted to see this movie. I've yet to watch it, but I picked this up last time at some point, and then I found it at Dollar Tree again. And I even remember thinking at Dollar Tree, was like, I don't know if I have this. I was like, I feel like I do, but I was like, but the art's different, right? I was like thinking in my head, it's like, there's something different about the one that I have. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get it. And if I have it, I'll just get rid of the other one or whatever. I'll get rid of one of them. And I did have it. I have an American release of Visionaries. This is a Canadian release of Visionaries. And I'm keeping this one over the American one because while, yes, the artwork is different, like this picture is Zach Galifianakis the same, but everything else is completely different. It's orange. It's got different type font and everything like that. So there was a bit of confusion there. But this one comes with all the special features. There's actually a good chunk of special features on this one. So I was like, you are coming home with me, and then the other one is going to go away. I'm excited to watch that one at some point. It looks cool. The Wailing. This movie is fantastic. It is a Korean crime thriller about a village that's not really so much a village as it is like a family that's supposedly like coming down with like this like sickness, and there's like these like brutal murders and stuff, and these cops are trying to solve it. It is eerie. It is long. It is like almost a 3-hour movie. 2 hours and 37 minutes. It is a long movie, but it is gripping. Builds suspense really well, builds the mystery really well. I remember seeing this one in theaters and was just completely floored by it. Autumn has never seen this, so I wanted to get a copy of this. I know this is on Blu-ray, but I got it from Big Lots when I had that coupon, and I paid like next to nothing for it. So I'm excited to rewatch this one with Autumn, and I'm glad I own a copy of it. Super great movie. Highly recommend. Another movie I really want to recommend if you want to ruin your day, Waltz with Bashir. So when I wanted to do a movie night with my buddies with Flea, I wanted to find something that would be comparable to Flea, and this is what I picked. And while, yes, it's comparable in the sense they're both animated documentaries about hardships in life, this movie not only is significantly better than Flea, it is, we watched this before Flea, and it kind of just put a damper on the whole night, because this movie is incredibly impactful, very emotional, very brutal, and there's just some moments where it just kind of takes your breath away. The animation is beautiful. Basically, it's about a man who was in the military during the Lebanon War, and he basically goes around to old friends trying to reaccount his time in the war because he can't remember it. And it's hard to watch. I mean, it really is. There is some wild and very disturbing stuff in this film, but it is absolutely amazing. It's a solid 8.5 for me. It could be a 9 out of 10. It's just one of those movies where it's like, it's kind of like, I guess we're going to watch Waltz with Bashir. You know what I mean? It's just kind of a downer of a movie. Great, though. I picked up The Warlord from the Dollar Tree. I know nothing about it. I believe this is Chinese. It is not going to tell me, are you? What about if I pull up the slipcase? Nope. You are not going to tell me what you are you? Huh. Not seen it. Will eventually. One I thought was kind of cool to find a rental copy of it, but to whip it. I found this at a pawn shop for $1. I don't know why I thought this was cool to find it as a rental copy, but I did. Again, the roller derby thing, I've never seen this, always wanted to, just never have. Came across it for $1 and I thought, sure. From the Dollar Tree, Wicker Park with Josh Hartnett. Never seen it. Never heard of it, but it's also got Matthew Lillard in it, so I figured I'd go ahead and grab it. 10 for 10 booth, Risk Cutters, another movie that I've never heard of. I saw Tom Watts' name, and that was enough for me to buy it. Then right next to us, John Hawkes. So, sure, you know. I've not watched it yet, but at some point. Steelbook I found at Big Lots, Dollar Tree. I've not yet opened. Wolf's Bane. Wolf's Bane on Steelbook. Yeah, not opened it yet, but I have it for what it's worth. I don't know. I thought it was cool to find a Steelbook at the Dollar Tree. I got some discs a buddy gave me. Friday the 13th, Part 3, 3D. Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. They were all duplicates he had from when he bought the Friday the 13th Scream Factory set. So thank you, my friend. I found Taboo on Dollar Tree on Blu-ray at Dollar Tree. So I'm replacing my DVD copy. Taboo was great. I really loved it. I found the DVD copy at Dollar Tree a long time ago, and I finally was able to find it on Blu-ray. I grabbed Dr. Kat's Professional Therapist season 1 and 2 on DVD. I found season 1 at the Dollar Tree and then season 2 at Big Lots, both for $1.25. Weirdly enough, I've not seen it, but it's got John H. Benjamin in it, or H. John Benjamin, or whatever his name is, and it's by the guys who made Home Movies. So, or at least I believe it is H. John Benjamin, his name, and Dave Attell's in it. So I was like, cool. Just haven't watched it yet, but cool. Gunpowder I found at Dollar Tree. I thought this was a movie. This is actually a mini series. They do have a feature on here where you can watch it as one solid movie, so that's pretty cool. But haven't watched it, but cool. I found Shameless season 1 and 2 on DVD. We are pretty big fans of the Shameless US version. So when I found the UK version at the Dollar Tree, I thought we'd go ahead and grab it. Maybe, give it a shot at some point. I just haven't watched any of it yet. I found this at Goodwill for $1. Dexter's Laboratory season 1. I love Dexter's Laboratory. Grew up watching a lot. Really like Tartakovsky's animation, which I'm pretty sure he made this, right? Doesn't say his name, but yeah, it's him. I wish Cartoon Network would get off their ass and just release stuff in complete collections of their shows. Please do that at some point. I'd really appreciate it. I would love to own all of Dexter's Laboratory. But for $1, I'll settle for season 1. I picked up the Pop Culture Bento Box from Dollar Tree. And I thought the movie seemed interesting. I mainly grabbed it for The Little Prince and the Eight-Headed Dragon, which is like a 60s animation, and Memories. Memories being a movie that's been on my watch list for a long time. I have not watched it yet. It's been on my watch list for a long time. And I was pretty happy to go ahead and grab it. I mean, it comes with some of the Godzilla show, some of Astro Boy. So I was like, for $1.25, sure. However, when you load up disc 1, there is no The Little Prince and the Eight-Headed Dragon. I reached out to Mill Creek, and they sent me a replacement disc with The Little Prince and the Eight-Headed Dragon. So, if you come across Pop Culture Bento Box at a dollar store or Dollar Tree or whatever like that, and your copy does not have The Little Prince and the Eight-Headed Dragon, just reach out to Mill Creek. They will send you a replacement disc. Thank you very much, Mill Creek. I am very excited to watch both the movies I said. I've seen Mothra before. I've never heard of Battle in Outer Space, but I'll probably check it out at some point. But like I said, Memories and the Little Prince and the Eight-Headed Dragon is really cool. And from my understanding, this is the only set on a DVD in the US that has the Little Prince and the Eight-Headed Dragon. So excited. Roger Corman Horror Collection I found at the Dollar Tree. Little Shop of Horrors, The Terror, Dementia 13, She Gods of the Shark Reef, and Swamp Women. Dementia 13 I actually have on Blu-ray by Vestron, but the other movies I don't have. And the Little Shop of Horrors is, I believe, the original one. So, cool. Cool little box set. I did find at Half Price Books Zebra Man 2, Attack of Zebra City, the sequel to Zebra Man. Both films directed by Takashi Miike, who is one of my favorite filmmakers. Really cool, like 3-disc set. This was, I want to say $9.99, but I've not seen a Blu-ray in a tall like DVD case before, so that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm happy to have these. So I thought Zebra Man 1 was decent. I thought it was a little boring at points, but excited to check out the sequel. Picked up You Might Be the Killer. Never seen it. Found it at Dollar Tree. And the last movie, Blu-ray or DVD, is Yakuza Princess, a movie that was on my watch list for 2021. It sucks. This is not a good movie. Super boring, dumb characters, poorly written, not very great action fights, cool lighting. But yeah, kind of lame. Pretty disappointed in that one. Now that leaves one thing and one thing only in VHS tapes. I'm going to start off by hitting the microphone with this really cool Fox and the Hound video and plush toy limited edition set. It comes with a little copper. See? How cute. The person I bought this off of eBay told me it was new. It is not. It was used. But it's in good shape. So I am happy I have it. And I do have the Todd back there. Right there. And from my understanding, the only way to get Todd is to buy that set and then send in a mail-in thing. So I found a eBay for a brand new one. And that one is brand new. It's still in the packaging. More VHS tapes. I found the original copy of 13 Ghosts at that vendor market. I thought that was pretty cool. Autumn's a big fan of the remake of 13 Ghosts. I thought it was cool to find that. I found a copy of The Thing for $1 in great condition. It still has plastic around the outside of it, although it's not new. In great shape. I found these weird VHS tapes. Happy Birthday to Me. Screaming Skull. And Zombie Holocaust, which I cannot show you the back of. These are all like reproductions or something. I don't know. They're weird. They were all $1, so I grabbed them. They're just bizarre. I also found the 3 Cabrellos, however you say that. Something. Oh, dude, really? How'd you come back? Trying to get rid of this person who's whatever. I've never seen this. I found this at like a Goodwill or a Dollar Tree for $1 or 50 cents. I don't know, but it's in really good shape. So excited to see that. I did find this weird copy of Thumbelina for, to be honest, I don't remember where all I found these at. I just thought it looked cool. Like, look at the animation. I have no idea what it's about, but I was like, sure. Princess Bride, I found in really good shape. This is Autumn's favorite movie. I mainly got it so we could have a cool VHS copy for her. I actually have this brand new on clamshell, but I have that up on eBay. And I kind of like this version's artwork better. I did find for $1 the Star Wars special editions on VHS. So I thought that was kind of cool. They're the widescreen VHS tapes too. So I thought that was really cool. And I thought for $1, why not? All right, Kiki's Delivery Service. Found for a couple bucks. Actually, it was 4 of them for $3. This was in that pack. Also in that 4 for $3 was A Bug's Life. The other 2 I'm getting rid of. It was like Pocahontas and I think the Hunchback of Notre Dame, maybe. I found Justice League at Half Price Books for $1. Thought it looked cool. Or was that one at Goodwill? I can't remember. Picked up Toy Story 2, so I now have Toy Story 1 and 2 on VHS. So that's pretty cool. Anastasia, one of Autumn's favorite animated movies. I found a really clean copy of it on VHS. And the last one, another amazingly clean copy, Treasure Planet on VHS. Really cool, super duper clean. So that was the collection update. That was all the stuff I picked up since last time. Who knows what I'll have next time? I think for now on, I'll just stream it here on YouTube, maybe. The idea was to hopefully get some people to come in the chat, but yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the support on the channel. I do have videos in the pipe, so look forward to that, and I'll see y'all later. Take it easy. Peace.